everybody, it's Maud Betty. Welcome to another episode of Retro Roadmap. I'm calling this one the sporty episode because we're here outside of Baltimore, but I'm actually calling it Baltimore because we are bowling today. This is one of my favorite sports because I am not sporty spice in the least, but we are here not just to do regular ball bowling, but duckpin bowling. So why don't you head to the lanes with me and we'll see all about this unusual sport that was invented in the Baltimore area. I'm here with owner Ken Staub, who's going to tell us a little bit about the lanes, a little bit about the sport, and yeah, so here we are. Thank you, Ken.
You're very welcome. Stoneleigh's been around since 1946, and actually the lanes themselves, that's the original wood from 1946.
And how many lanes do you have here?
We have 16, but it was built with 17 lanes.
One went missing.
If you notice, there's one ball return for every 2 lanes. And if you have league competition, you need 2 lanes. And also, when Stoneleigh was built, it was set by pin boys. The machines didn't come in until the late 50s.
Now, speaking of the pins, to me that's the thing that makes duck pins so different, is that they look to me like little ducks, but they're not your typical bowling pins.
Duck pin started around the turn of the century. It was started by a group of Oriole baseball players who were looking for something to do during the winter to keep in shape for the game. So they took some broken 10 pins and a ball about the size of a softball and started throwing it, and they said it was looking like they were shooting ducks. So that's how the game started.
So it's not just here in Baltimore, it is mostly here, but on the East Coast, huh?
Yeah, it's in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia.
Great. Well, I'm going to make sure that all of the duckpin bowling alleys that have that cool vintage charm are going to be on Retro Roadmap. And that's one of the things we love about Stoneleigh is this looks like you've just stepped back into time, and we just love this. So tell us a little bit about the lanes and the equipment back here.
The machines were manufactured at Sparrows Point, but they were assembled in Massachusetts. They were developed by a gentleman named Ken Sherman, who was a Baltimorean.
Now, you said to me, and I that people may not notice this right now, but we're actually in the basement of a building, so they couldn't just get these in the regular way.
No, they had to assemble the machines down in the basement here. And when you're pulling out 200 and 300 pound weights from the back there, it makes it a little hard.
Oh man, well you know what, we've talked so much about the equipment back there, and I know it's one of those things that they don't make anymore, that you need to get pieces from bowling lanes that have gone out of business. Can we take a sneak peek back there?
Absolutely, I'd love to show you.
Can we go there? Yeah.
All right, so as you can see, it's kind of narrow, but as you look at these parts, when houses shut down, we buy those parts to use. Some of these parts are 50, 60 years old. Now I know I'm going to have to talk up so you can hear me. There are 5 clutches on these machines. And most of those clutches are the original clutches when they put the machines in 1956. These machines run so well. Now here's a look at the computer. Now, just to give you an idea how things go, you come in and you knock down the pins. There's 5 different belts that run down there. The balls come up the elevator, which is in the back. The pins go through what's called a magazine. The balls come down the ball return. The cable comes out, loads it, and all this is being run by one little motor in the back.
Just that one right there, huh?
Right back there.
Wow.
And I have motors that have been running for 25 years.
This is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so one of the things that I love about this place too is that you don't have electronic scoring. You've got to use a paper and pencil. Now, how does that differ any from the different kind of way of keeping score with regular bowling?
No, well, I mean, when I grew up, everything was done by paper. Once computers were introduced, then a lot of centers started going to the automatic scoring. But there's still a good percentage of the population that prefer to keep score by themselves.
Well, I think I'm going to try to check that out. We'll see. So thank you very much for letting us bowl some pins here, and we'll check it out and we'll see how well we do. I don't know. I may have to use the eraser on my score to bump it up.
We don't give erasers out.
All right. Well, now you got me. All right. Thanks very much, Ken.
You're very welcome.
All righty.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you very much for bowling with us today. Duckpin Bowling rocks, and I'm about to throw a 10, I believe it's called. We'll see you on the next episode of Retro Roadmap.